Page 22. How governments are chosen. In a democracy, the people who have been elected have to be re-elected, or new people must be elected within a certain number of years. However, the leaders of countries that are not democratic change in other ways. When a government is run by a non-democratic ruler, such as a monarch, it changes when one leader, the monarch, dies and his or her successor takes over. With a military government, the leader changes when one military leader replaces another. In both cases, the people of the country have no choice as to what their new government will be like or who will serve in it. In a democratic nation, however, that choice lies with the people, who make their decisions through voting and elections. If all adult men and women in a country are allowed to vote, this is known as universal suffrage. I'll read the caption. Female suffrage. Until about 100 years ago, suffrage, or the right to vote, was limited to men, and only wealthy men. No women could vote, as they were not considered equal to men. All that changed in 1869 when women in the state of Wyoming gained the vote. In 1893, New Zealand became the first country to have universal suffrage. All women in the United States gained the vote for the first time in 1920. British women did not get equal voting rights with men until 1928. In the picture, we see Kate Sheppard, 1847 through 1934, a New Zealand suffragette. Page 23, Elections. An election is when every eligible citizen of a country has the opportunity to vote for the candidate of their choice to form a new government. In most countries, every man and woman over a specific age can vote. The minimum age ranges from 16 to 21. In a few countries, such as Saudi Arabia, women still do not have the right to vote. In a democratic nation, such as the United States, voters have 2 or more candidates to choose from. Each candidate describes his or her plans for the government. Voters learn what the candidate's ideas are on important issues, such as education or public transportation. Then they can choose the person they think will do the best job at running the government. I'm going to read the caption at the top. These citizens in Jakarta, Indonesia, supported Megawati Soekarno-Putri in the presidential elections. And below that, we see Silvio Berlusconi, celebrated becoming president of Italy in 2001. Page 24. Candidates work hard to gain enough votes to win. They visit different places to meet voters. They make public speeches. In some countries, they or their parties may advertise in newspapers and on television. And then to the side, we see an old advertisement from probably around 1960 or 1964-ish or 63. This says Kennedy for president, Johnson for vice president. And then below that, it says posters are a popular way of trying to win votes. Voting. On election day, every voter has the chance and the responsibility to vote. Some people mail in their vote, but most go to their local polling place to vote. In many countries, voting machines are used. Telephones, the internet, and even cell phones are sometimes used to help people vote more easily. After everyone has voted, the votes are counted and the results declared. One main way of counting votes and arriving at a decision is known as a simple majority. In this method, voters mark their choice. The candidate with the largest number of votes wins, even if this is less than half of the total. And then below, we see on the left-hand side, Archbishop Desmond Tutu votes in the South African elections in 2009. And to the right, an election voting system was used in India in 1999.